After a decade, this tremendously popular series has finally come to an end. I read all the Harry Potter books a few years ago, but honestly I don't really remember them. And to be honest, I haven't enjoyed the last few Harry Potter movies. I always thought the first two were the best ones, and then the third one was also very good, and then it sort of went downhill from there. The fourth one, The Goblet of Fire, was okay, and then the fifth, sixth, and the first part of the last movie is I just didn't like it. Like the direction I don't think was good. I think this series has kind of been a bit sporadic because there's been several different directors directing the series. So it hasn't been like consistent in terms of theme or direction or acting or anything like that. Well, you could rest assured that I definitely found this one a big improvement over the past few Harry Potter movies. It's a lot more entertaining than the other ones. It's more focused on all-out action and entertainment rather than dialogue sequences. And basically, I think this movie is better in pretty much every single aspect than the past few Harry Potter movies. I found it way more entertaining, and it just cut to the chase. There wasn't any unnecessary scenes at all. And in fact, this is the shortest Harry Potter movie out of all the Harry Potter movies in the entire series. While this movie isn't quite as story focused as the other ones, you do get to learn a lot about Snape when Harry kind of takes his tear and puts it in that thing in Dumbledore's office. So you get a lot of backstory on him, and then it kind of clarifies whether or not he's a good or a bad guy. Because so far into this movie, I kind of forgot about the seventh book since I haven't read it in a few years. So I forgot whether he was good or bad. But in this movie, it clears it up, so there's no dispute about that. In terms of the acting, all the actors turn in fine performances, especially Daniel Radcliffe. This is probably one of his best performances out of all the Harry Potter movies. Ron and Hermione's characters were good, and then Ralph Fiennes, or Fiennes, I forgot how you pronounce his last name. He's always been a terrific actor in my opinion, especially since I saw him in Bruges, which is like a crime thriller. I thought he's always been terrific, and he does a great job portraying Voldemort in this movie. The one character who I've always hated in this series, ever since she was introduced, was the Luna Lovegood girl. I just found that her dialogue lines weren't especially bad, but the way she pronounces and acts her lines out is just not to my liking. It felt really awkward. I don't know if that's the director's intention, but it just felt every scene with her, even though she wasn't in this movie too much, every scene with her felt really awkward and just weird, and sometimes like I had to look away from the screen because it was just really, really awkward, and I just didn't like it at all when she was on the screen. Another problem I had with this movie is that, well, you probably know that some key characters die in this if you've read the books or if you've read a synopsis or something beforehand, so a lot of key characters die. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but the movie kind of doesn't really follow up very well afterwards after these certain characters died. So I didn't like that. I thought the film could have been extended another 5 or 10 minutes just to clarify and kind of wrap that up. I didn't feel like there's any clear conclusion to those characters. I kind of felt like it sort of cut from the ending of the battle all the way to the ending of the book without any clear transition between those two different scenes. So I thought that could have been it could have been done a bit better. Special effects wise, everything looks great when everyone's kind of shooting spells at each other. There's a lot of explosions and parts of Hogwarts sort of blowing up, and there's this huge shield they cast around to protect the castle, and that's really cool looking. And when the Death Eaters and Voldemort's army start shooting that thing up, it looks kind of cool, and there's like a good contrast of red and blue sort of everywhere, and the actual special effects are pretty good when there's trolls and other weird creatures attacking. It looks pretty good for the most part. So overall, do I recommend that you see this movie? Definitely. I mean, you've probably already seen this movie, you're planning on seeing it no matter what the hell I say anyway, but yeah, it's definitely a very good movie. It's a solid, you know, B action movie, nothing spectacular story-wise or anything like that. It has a little bit of problem in terms of the pacing. Early on was a little bit slow, and you know, some of the characters I had problems with, and like some of the transitions at the end, but aside from that, it's very entertaining to watch. A lot of cool stuff exploding around, a lot of action going on. It's the most entertaining Harry Potter since a while. I personally don't think it's the best one. It's a little bit overrated. It's got like a 96 or 97 on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it deserves all that much credit, but it's definitely a very good movie to watch, so I definitely recommend that you see this movie.
Together!